Welcome back to the indie film Ungated series. If you are new here, you should probably check out the playlist and start from the first episode of this. It will make much more sense because they kind of build on each other. Let's get to the Ungated part of the series. Upon passing the elephants, a man noticed something odd. These creatures, majestic and strong, are held in place by a single strand of rope. No cages, no chains. Just one measly bit of rope, tied to their front leg. The man asked a nearby trainer, "Why don't the elephants break the rope and run away?" When they were young and much smaller, the trainer says, "that rope is enough to hold them." The man nods, though still a bit perplexed. They grow up believing they are not strong enough to break free. So it's not the rope that holds them in place now, but their belief. From the dawn of cinema, the industry had stranglehold on its creative talent. Given enough resources, most anyone could make a film. But if you wanted that film seen by more than family and friends, you needed industry gatekeepers to anoint you. They controlled the levers of distribution and marketing. That's where the real power was. Not in the creative work itself, but the ability to get it to market, to monetize it. In the beginning, the rope that binds is very real. Over the course of 20 years, the internet changed absolutely everything. It was a long, slow change, like turning up the heat in your house by 1 degree each year. Totally unnoticeable at first, until you're sweating bullets around the clock. And boy, is the industry sweating right now. At the same time that many of their trusted business models are falling out from under them, the balance of power is shifting. Because of the internet, you see, the two beautiful things. First, it opened up the distribution and marketing playing field to everybody. From me to you to some random kid in Southeast Asia, we all have this power at our fingertips now. The power to create something and get it in front of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, at the click of a button. That's not to say it's easy, of course it's not, but it's possible now, which has never before been true in human history. Second, the internet decimated the very notion of popular culture. Back in the day, everybody watched the same 5 TV shows, went to the same movies, listened to the same music. But the internet put an end to that and created an endless sea of subcultures. It's a niche creating machine where each of us can find our tribe and consume media that lights us up, no matter how obscure our interests. For these reasons, the industry's stranglehold on consumer attention is withering, and they know it. Of course, the industry still spins a good yarn about its relevance and stature. "You'll never be able to do what we can do for you," it says alluringly. "Come to your senses and play in the big leagues." But there's a dirty little secret at play. All these distributors and sales agents and festivals need you. Without endless supplies of your intellectual property, which they've become accustomed to picking up for pennies on the dollar, they can't survive. So they trash and scream, making a big stink about their connection, their access, their expertise. But in this new economy, with fragmented attention and withering institutions, they're groping around in the dark like everyone else. That's why it's easier than ever to get a distribution deal these days. They're making more offers to more people with more predatory terms. They need to acquire as many films as possible and hope that one of them sticks. It truly is a disgusting racket. Yet, because we've all been conditioned over decades to value being chosen by a gatekeeper, we keep buying into it. Like the elephant, unaware of its own power, we remained held in place. There's a new term I've come to absolutely love: the ungated creative. What does it mean to be ungated, you might be asking? It means seizing the reins of distribution and marketing and owning the connection with your audience. An ungated filmmaker doesn't need investors, distributors, sales agents, or festivals. No gatekeeper will be the defining factor in their career. They succeed regardless, hence the term Ungated. The Ungated filmmaker is able to do this for one simple reason. Instead of trying to beat Hollywood at its own game, they play a different game altogether. They understand the new reality of the internet and adapt their strategies accordingly. They understand how to create work worth caring about and get it in front of perfect subculture. The Ungated filmmaker has made the choice to break the rope and walk away. Something weird happens when you don't need gatekeepers. All of a sudden, they seem to want to do business with you. When you've got an audience that loves everything you make, suddenly you become quite attractive. Those investors that wouldn't give you time of the day are now eager to get a piece of your next project. That distributor with the laughable predatory offer comes back, this time with a deal that's more in your favor. It doesn't stop there either. When you're Ungated, you have power, you have leverage. If the investor or distributor makes a shitty offer and refuses to budge, you can walk away, knowing that you will succeed without them. This, funnily enough, makes them want to do business with you even more. It's a great paradox of creative industries. The filmmaker who needs the industry least gets the best opportunities in this industry. If you hadn't already guessed, Andre is the epitome of Ungated filmmaking. He's made majority of his decisions to cut out middlemen and go direct to his audience. And there's the funny thing. In the world that's coming, Andre's more likely to get the opportunity to direct a Hollywood show or series, despite Phil having worked directly toward that goal for years. That's how it works now. As the industry increasingly closes itself off to outsiders, the ones that they let in will be the ones who don't need the industry. Now you have new dimension to add to your decision spectrum. Each decision you make either will make you more reliant on gatekeepers or less. The choice is yours. Personally, I hope you'll join me in the Ungated path. Rob, gates? Where are we going? We don't need gates. Hardy. I mentioned earlier that Ungated filmmakers like Andre are playing a fundamentally different game than Hollywood. Once you see the game and the underlying rules, it becomes much easier to win. More about that in the next episode of the indie film Ungated series that will come out on the first Saturday of next month. In the Saturdays in between, I'm going to share about my own projects. This email episode's topic today made me think about YouTubers publishing a book. Distribution industry and publishing industry are very similar and are going the same trajectory. Publishing, I think it's a little bit slower to catch up to terrible deals, but it's very similar. I'm an indie author too, hobbyist indie author. This is a book I published with my writer friends, an anthology, and it is hard to make it as an indie author. It is not way harder than to get to people when you are traditionally published, because they only market the books that they know will bring them money. The weird thing is that a lot of YouTubers are so happy about getting a book deal from a publisher, as if they don't recognize they are providing all the value. They write the book, they make the audience for years. They are doing the marketing because they will mention in their book over and over. And the publisher just has to publish the book, which is really simple. And there's many companies that you can self-publish through and get better returns. You don't get advance, of course, if you are self-publishing, but I'm a big proponent of keeping your IPs, intellectual property, and indie publishing lets you do that, as is indie filmmaking. I didn't figure out yet how to transfer that into the indie filmmaking, like narrative filmmaking, because it's not exactly comparable. Like most of the YouTubers that are getting those deals are making how-to books, like books about finances, about gardening, or whatever the YouTube is about. And that would work well for the documentaries that you're talking about a topic for 2-3 years on YouTube videos, and then you presenting the documentary. I think that would work really well. I have no idea how it could work for narrative filmmaking yet. For now, I'm trying on my other YouTube, posting my short films and reviewing books in the genre I want to make movies in, and we'll see what will happen. Also, I'm making the edits of known films in my genre, and they are getting the most views, so I'm trying to kind of lower it down so that my original content can break through and be visible at all. But yeah, that's one thing I'm experimenting with. Even many indie filmmakers that are more entrepreneurial don't cut out the investors, but for me, I did, and I'm really happy that I don't have to focus on figuring out how to get investors, how to talk them into investing in my movie, because for me it was always very stressful that I need to get somebody to invest in something that I don't know if it will good return of investment for them. This uncertainty is not worth the money, because I would be stressing out all the time. I'll probably make a worse movie because of that. So I know it will slow down my progress in making awesome fantasy epic films, but it will be way more enjoyable for me. Of course, you don't have to cut out investors, or as in the Spectrum episode, we discussed that you can choose which things you are going to cut out, which ones are you going to follow the traditional path, or which ones will be a blend. I think Rob was the first person that was against asking investors for movie for your money that I heard about. So yeah, it was a big relief for me knowing, okay, I can figure out how to make movies without investors. And it became one of my core values that I can make a movie without asking anybody for permission, for funds, for anything. I do still apply for grants from time to time because they're there, and it's not that much of extra work while preparing the movie to apply for grants. It is a bit frustrating sometimes because I never got it so far. I did get one mentorship grant once, but I never got grants for making a movie. So I'm getting a bit frustrated and saying, oh, is it really worth it? But for the work that I put in, like, I'm preparing the movie anyway, I can apply for some grants and not get it. So yeah, so that's my one option. But not getting the grants will not make me not make movie, it will just make me make the movie later. So comment below what's your take on this, and what's your plan, how being Ungated resonates with you, were you planning to distribute your movie traditionally, or are you interested in making your movies more experimentally when it comes to the business side? I'd love to hear from you, and until then, see you next Saturday when I'm sharing updates on my own projects. Bye!